In this video, we're going back in time to recall about 15 iconic American fast food chains that have closed their doors once and for all. From nostalgic drive-thrus to roadside chains, these restaurants left a delectable legacy that is still remembered. Have you ever wondered what's the big deal about those fast food chains your parents can't stop talking about? Join us for a nostalgic journey through the delicious history of these dearly departed fast food joints. 15. Let's time travel to 1936 at Bob's Big Boy in Glendale, California.
Bob's Big Boy makes great hamburgers and lots of good things to eat.
Imagine families in their elegant attire arriving in polished Buicks and Chevrolets, ready to dine under the sparkling neon lights. Did you know that this is where the iconic double-decker hamburger made its debut? The restaurant was filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and sizzling burgers. With each burger and milkshake, Bob's Big Boy created lasting memories and became a cultural icon. Despite its closure in the late 1990s, some locations retain the nostalgia and welcome new generations to experience its storied legacy. Bob's Big Boy had more than 240 locations around the U.S. in 1989. With the shutdown of the restaurant in Kalamazoo, California by 2020, there were just 4 left, all in Los Angeles, California. The 14. Enter Farrell's and imagine yourself walking into a fanciful era from the 1960s, where the sound of vintage music and waitstaff dressed in period attire welcome you. Beyond just an ordinary ice cream shop, it was a happy place where the biggest sundaes were served with sparklers, turning every child's birthday into a dream come true. Farrell's menu ignited imaginations and filled the senses with mouth-watering flavors. It was a time filled with happiness as families celebrated life milestones. But as dining habits changed, it declined and eventually closed. The last Farrell's ice cream parlor in Brea has closed, marking the end of the chain. Memories of Farrell's lively celebrations and rich delicacies still bring smiles to those who remember its charm and opulence. 13. Zoom into the 1950s, when Indianapolis saw the rise of Burger Chef, which soon became a household name. Burger Chef introduced the idea of a kid's meal and a self-service topping bar, both of which were innovative ideas ahead of their time. Kids with eyes wide in anticipation watched the magic of customizing their favorite burger. However, Burger Chef found it difficult to keep up with the growing competition in the fast food industry, and Hardee's absorbed it by 1982, leaving behind fond memories of family meals and groundbreaking fast food firsts. In 1996, the last Burger Chef establishment closed its doors. 12. The restaurant's name, Bonanza, originated from the popular TV series Bonanza, which aired on NBC. In 1963, Dan Blocker, who played Eric Haas Cartwright on Bonanza, opened the first Bonanza restaurant in Westport, Connecticut. It provided families with affordable steak meals in a pleasant Wild West environment. The dining experience was about sharing stories over plates of sizzling steaks and golden fries. The design, with its rustic wood and cowboy symbols, took guests back in time, offering each meal an escape from the pace and bustle of modern life. As the casual eating market evolved, Bonanza struggled to compete, eventually disappearing from the American landscape, leaving a handful of locations left. The last Bonanza steakhouses are located in hidden corners of the Midwest and East Coast, with locations in Maine, New Columbia, and Pennsylvania. Plus, there are a few in Puerto Rico. 11. The good times at Ground Round in the late 1960s are still as clear as day for those who were there, even if it was just once. It was a place where families could unwind, while children were fascinated by the concept of paying for their meals based on weight. The sound of popcorn popping greeted the guests at the door, creating the mood for a meal where fun was just as important as the food. Several of its sites had closed by the early 2000s due to changes in the eating business and financial difficulties, but a few strive to revive the cherished brand. The business has 4 locations in North Dakota and Ohio as of March 2024. Ground Round has 1 location in the Brookhaven section of Long Island, New York. If you're craving that nostalgic burger and brew, you have to go downstate. 10. Enter the 1920s, a time when White Tower hamburgers became the popular choice for efficient fast food, especially in the Midwest and Northeast. With their shining white exteriors and Art Deco interiors, the restaurant stood out. The aroma of coffee and the sound of sizzling burgers welcomed the customers. It was an affordable place for families on a date night or workers on their lunch break. White Tower flourished with 230 locations in the 1950s, but most of the locations closed by the late 1980s due to legal battles and urban development changes. White Tower's era ended in April 2022 when Toledo, Ohio's final location, closed as a result of a fire. Number 9. Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips brought the taste of Britain to American shores in the late 1960s. It became an instant hit as a chain because of its mouth-watering fried fish and fries. The cozy interiors resembled a British pub, offering a warm welcome to families seeking an exotic dining experience. The crackle of fish frying in batter, the tangy aroma of malt vinegar, and the loud laughter of diners created a pleasant and lively atmosphere. However, as dietary trends shifted, Arthur Treacher's struggled. Developer George Simon bought Arthur Treacher's Cleveland location from longtime owner Ben Vittoria in 2021. Vittoria retired recently, and he sold the Cuyahoga Falls outlet to Simon. Now with just 2 spots in Northeast Ohio, both owned by Simon, the brand begins a new era. Number 8. Let's dive into the 1950s when Biff Burger started to serve its unique roto-broiled burgers in Clearwater, Florida. What made Biff Burger stand out as the ultimate destination for those craving a quick and satisfying meal? It was their innovative cooking technique that preserved all the delicious flavors and juices, making each bite a mouth-watering delight. The smell of burgers cooking on the rotating spit and the sound of laughter and music mixing in the air created a happy and welcoming atmosphere. Most Biff Burger outlets closed in the late 1980s. The last remaining original Biff Burger, located in St. Petersburg, Florida, closed on December 7, 2021. But fast food fans still remember those delicious burgers. Are you enjoying the flavors of nostalgia with us? If so, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. 7. When Carol's joined the booming burger industry in the early 1960s, its signature club burger quickly became a favorite in the Northeast. Both family outings and teenage hangouts found a warm ambiance here. Despite its regional success, Carol's faced fierce competition throughout the 1970s and in the early 1980s. It converted many of its outlets into Burger Kings, marking the end of Carol's as a separate brand. Number 6. Kenny Rogers and former KFC CEO John Y. Brown Jr. founded Kenny Rogers Roasters in 1991. Their healthy, rotisserie-cooked chicken changed the fast food game. Kenny Rogers Roasters started a healthy eating movement by serving tasty and nutritious food. Its financial troubles and fierce competition contributed to its downfall in the U.S. market. Its last location in North America was in Ontario, California, which closed on December 31, 2011. Despite the chain's shutdown in the U.S., Kenny Rogers Roasters is thriving in Asia under Berjaya Group ownership. 5. Noggles introduced its fusion of Mexican and American fast food with bold flavors and inventive dishes like the bun taco in Southern California in 1970. Its colorful design and laid-back setting made it a popular destination for late-night meals for foodies and night owls alike. Del Taco purchased Noggles in 1988, and the majority of the Noggles outlets were converted or closed in mid-1990. Noggles' last store on Highway 50 East in Carson City, Nevada, closed in 1995. Number 4. Step into 1957 when Baltimore Colts player Gino Marchetti founded Gino's Hamburgers. Gino's was a mid-Atlantic icon, famous for its collaboration with Kentucky Fried Chicken and Gino Giant Burger. Gino's was a place where people gathered to share stories and enjoy the simple pleasure of a good burger. In 1982, Marriott Corporation took over Gino's, converting many of its locations into Roy Rogers restaurants. The last Gino's, located in Pasadena, Maryland, and operated independently from Marriott, closed in 1986. Gino's legacy lives on and remains a testament to its lasting impact on the tastes and sentiments of those with fond memories. Number 3. Showbiz Pizza Place was a magical world in the 1980s, combining pizza and entertainment with an extravagant display of animatronic characters and arcade games. The robotic precision and catchy rhythms of the Rockafire Explosion Band fascinated both parents and kids. Showbiz was about enjoying the little pleasures in life, like sharing a pizza with loved ones and feeling the rush of winning a game at the arcade. This was the place to be for birthday parties and celebrations, where fun was the main menu and kids were the stars. When Showbiz merged with Chuck E., it was the end of the brand. However, the memories made within its walls remain a cherished part of childhood for those who experienced it. A few eateries still use the Showbiz Pizza Place moniker and animatronics. All of these are based outside of the United States and have no link to the original company. Number 2, Howard Johnson's offered a dining experience similar to a celebration, with dishes like fried clams and an array of 28 ice cream flavors. With its distinctive orange-roofed buildings, it stood out on the highway, promising tired travelers a warm welcome and an experience of home. Howard Johnson's experienced a downturn as the fast food revolution took hold and travel patterns changed. By the 2000s, the majority of its sites were closed. Despite being dubbed the last one standing, doubts arose about the Lake George restaurant's authenticity as a true Howard Johnson's. This skepticism originated from its dissimilar menu and negative reviews. The last restaurant, in Lake George, New York, closed in 2022. Number 1, Winkies, a regional fast food company, was founded in the early 1960s in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Its hamburgers and the popular Big Wink sandwich defined the fast food trend of the time and became a local favorite. At its peak in 1977, Winkies boasted 42 stores across Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio. However, a downturn in the local economy led to Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 1982, leaving Winkies as nothing but a precious memory. Even though most of these chains are no longer in existence, their flavor-filled tales continue to spice up the history of fast food and remain as fresh as ever. Join me in reliving the golden days of the 60s and 70s, and hit the subscribe button to explore the iconic moments of our era together. Make sure to share your favorite memory in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. See you in the next video.